$6 billion. What would you do with that money? This number followed by 9 zeros yields an endless amount of possibilities to do absolutely anything. For example, we can buy houses to solve the homelessness issue, or even 3 billion McPick2s from McDonald's to solve food insecurity. 7 months, almost half a year. One could do anything with this allotted time. Pass new legislation, travel around the world, and even watch the Disney animated movies. 42 times. However, when considering $6 billion and this allotted time, one should look at the long-term impacts and, in my opinion, value exploring the unknown. What better way to accomplish this goal than to explore the lands of the final frontier? Recently, space organizations and communities have been considering travel to Mars as a feasible way to sustain life and discover a new way to live. By enacting this mission to Mars, our society can curb existential threats here on Earth and pave the way for STEM-oriented improvements in our community as well. First, we can curb existential threats here on Earth, which seem to afflict ourselves and pose threats towards our sense of stability. Look around you. You can see that our world faces problems such as climate change, overpopulation, lack of food, and much, much more. One can attribute the rise of these factors due to the industrial-driven minds of developing countries, as they have been using natural resources to accomplish their desires. Unfortunately, this mindset is detrimental towards our future, as our nation is on the path to doom. The United Nations in March of 2016 predicted that our world will reach a carrying capacity of 10 billion people by 2050. Couple this observation with the growing trend of climate change due to the excessive use of fossil fuels and deforestation, and we have a problem on our way, as we have to collectively make an effort to curb this development. By traveling to Mars, we can prevent this catastrophic event even from occurring. More specifically, the construction of houses and the implementation of living quarters with given amenities precipitates this observation and movement. This vision is underway thanks to the efforts of companies like SpaceX and Deep Space Industries. According to CNBC, Elon Musk of SpaceX is attempting to send an assortment of cabins in hopes for colonization on Mars. Along with this trial, Musk is planning on integrating infrastructure, planetary parks, and a conservation organization which completes his dream of inhabitation. Although many years are still on the way of this project, the overall impact of space travel to Mars is vital for the state of Earth. If there are more efforts to colonize Mars, more people will be willing to take this monumental trek there. In turn, there will be less inhabitants on Earth and more preservation of natural resources. Less people on Earth means a less chance of reaching that carrying capacity. Thus, our planet will be safer and will be a thriving place for biodiversity if more people travel to Mars and will use less resources here on Earth. Secondly, we can pave the way for STEM-oriented improvements through the travel to Mars. Empirically speaking, this phenomenon has been seen in other time periods as well. During the initial stage of space exploration in the 1960s, JFK incentivized youth and young adults to venture into the field of science to help augment the level of technology in terms of space travel. A byproduct of these circumstances was the improvement of astrophysics and engineering, which helped construct the initial rovers and spaceships. In addition to these improvements, there was growth in STEM education, technology, and computers, which were produced during the time of the tech boom. These benefits helped spur the growth in the economy and can be easily replicable in the status quo. CNN implies that travel to Mars will help bring out new technology as well. By doing so, the world will inject new emerging technologies such as AI into the already prominent and growing tech market. Therefore, our society can transcend itself into a forward-moving economy with more technology here on Earth, along with more inhabitants on Mars, just by doing research. When considering travel to Mars, one would question whether it is worth it or whether it's not worth it. After reviewing the cases, it is definitely worth it, as we can curb existential threats and save the state of Earth, and we can help save a technology boom in the United States and help advance the level of our economy. After all, a brighter, more optimistic future is better than spending time and money on less useful activities.